Okay, so this was a recommendation from Twitch chat from Steel Lungs. Apparently, we're not going to watch this whole 6-hour debate, of course, but apparently Big Papa Fascist gets his ass handed to him by this girl that I don't know. For those who don't know, Big Papa Fascist, aka Andrew Wilson, is my first donor on Twitch ever, if you can believe that. Kind of crazy to think about. And I have debated him once before. It was not the best work on my part, but if he's watching this, I would love to debate him again. I've reached out via email, so, Andrew, hi. Thanks again for being my first ever dono, and I would love to do another debate with you on whatever topic you'd like. Just to kind of boost myself and just see what's on your mind. You're a very curious Andy, if you will. So apparently he gets his shit handed to him by Charlie, feminist, leftist, Rachel Wilson. Oh no, Rachel Wilson crashes the show. This is Charlie. Okay, so we're gonna watch Charlie epically own BPF in the marketplace of ideas.
It's just when you isolate for a segment in order to adjust for the percentage against the whole. So it'd be something akin to this, right?
Okay.
Let's say you had two black men and you had I don't know, 8 white dudes. Okay, so for a total of 10. Right? 10 represents 100% of all of these people in this people group, okay? And you have 4. You have 4 of the white guys who commit crimes, right?
Is this the pickle jars debate? I know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Like SA. And then you have both of the white guys who commit crimes, right? Like SA. And then you have both of the black men who commit SA.
The problem here is the sample size, right? Like, this is a tiny, tiny sample size. That would be my first issue with this.
If you're trying to determine which out of the people group committed more SA, would you then adjust for the 2 black men, because that's now 100% of black men who are committing SA, or for the 4 white guys, because now that's only 50% of white men who commit SA?
So it would be like relative to population size. That's what you're saying.
Per capita.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's super important to understand this, right?
No.
Because even if it's the case that most SA crimes happen within...
The problem is it can only ever be 0, 50, or 100 for the black guys, right? For the white guys, it can be anywhere from 0 to 12.5 to 25 to 37.5. Like, there is just a greater possibility of outcomes with the white guys because there is more of them, right? Now, above a certain population size, that stops being a problem because the tiny deviances on those percentages get smaller and smaller and smaller until they're insignificant.
Your own race, that could very well be true. What you'd really be looking at, though, is the per capita percentage.
Sure.
So,
let's get that then.
Yeah.
Still working on it. I'm not finding any...
But if it were the case, I just want to know, if it were the case that interracially they attacked white women far more than white men attacked black women, then wouldn't you give the advice to your little sister to cross the street?
Yeah, but wouldn't we want to look at how many white men attack white women as well? Like, you want to keep that consistent, right? Like, you're speaking in terms of, like, race war. Like, our tribe versus their tribe. And I don't like that. Like, you need to, like, if you're going with white women and how many white women are attacked per capita by either white men or black men, I believe that white men actually commit more violence against white women than black men do per capita, simply by happenstance, by the way, sometimes of just living closer to them. You are more likely to be in proximity of a white woman if you're a white man. Like, so, you can explain it however you want, but just on its face, this argument doesn't pan out. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Like, this is weird. You're trying to say, like, you're trying to compare black men attacking white women to white men attacking black women. Like this isn't a race war. What you could do is look at, like, black men attacking white women versus black men attacking black women and so on. White men for white women and whatever. That would work. Like, you could sit down and analyze the data on that, but, like, you're leaving out crucial pieces here.
Yeah, if that was a thing that was happening where sure, like, black men are just out there hunting white women like animals, I guess I would.
You see, hang on, did you see how you
so
just
smug.
characterized that with a terrible straw man? Did I say anything about black men hunting down white people like animals?
Essaying.
Did I say anything about them hunting?
Essaying white women.
Did I say anything about them doing that?
Okay, if you're sexually assaulting white women, then yes, you are being a predator. That's what being a predator is. It's hunting down a person to take advantage of them. So what she said was not a mischaracterization of what you said.
No, but the implication.
No, so you just made there's no implication of that either. Just an
my
implication.
The
God.
implication is
of
that
the high
black men are sexual predators.
No, the
and-
implication
and
is only
uniquely violent.
What okay, how is that implied? If it's the case that more
Wait, hold on.
of that either, just an implication
The implication is
of
that
the high
black men are sexual predators.
No, the
and-
implication
and
is only
uniquely violent.
What okay, how is that implied? If it's the case that more black people do commit more R crimes than white people do, how is that anything other than a fact?
What are you taking from that quote unquote fact? What are you deriving from that? What's your conclusion? What do we take from this?
It's not a fact.
It is a fact.
It's not.
But like, let's say it were, if black men are committing sexual assault against white women more than white men are committing sexual assault against black women, what you're trying to say is that, first of all, you're doing race war shit. Second of all, you're trying to say that black men are simply more likely to take advantage of the opposite race, and therefore they are more likely to be sexual predators. You're calling them sexual predators.
Are you
And
sure?
we also have to we have to consider convicted for.
Oh,
Like
it's
you
even
said, like I said earlier.
it's even worse.
Like I said earlier.
It's so much worse, Charlie, than you think. It's so
people
much
going innocent or
Charlie, it's worse than you could ever imagine.
What do you mean?
You're about
I think the problem with Charlie's argument here is that a lot of times, especially in America, the conviction is going to be based on bullshit like evidence. I think that's less of a problem now than it used to be, but there is definitely a strong history of injustices done against the black community in America. I mean, we have people going like, I'm not sure about this. I could be speaking out my ass, but so somebody fact check this for me, but I'm pretty sure that when somebody is released from prison after spending like 40, 50 years in there and they're released early because they were falsely convicted, most of the time, that's a black guy. And if we're going by statistics here, shouldn't it be 80% of the time a white guy? I'm just saying.
to find out when Brian pulls up the stats. It's worse than you could ever imagine.
Okay, well, will you concede that not all convicted sex criminals are guilty of what they have done?
Of course.
Okay.
She's moving the goalpost.
But
Is
will
it
you
not true
concede
that we have a justice system?
Well, hang on, but will you concede that most of the people who are convicted of the crimes that they committed those crimes?
Look at the way like his nose points. You know what I mean? He's like a witch he's like a troll that guards the bridge. You know what I mean? That's kind of what he's giving right now. He's giving very bridge troll vibes.
Because
I'm not sure, actually.
Well, then what?
You must answer my statistics 3 if you want to get past me, tee-hee.
What's the point of things like judicial review? And what's the point
I
of
think
things
that it would
like? What's the
depend-
point of things like that? What is the point of doing all of these audits? What is the point of all the studies and things like this? If crime itself was not mostly being placed in its proper categories and people being convicted for the correct
Do you
crimes?
think people experience...
I think she went the wrong direction. She let him misdirect her. I would have said, why are you comparing white men on black women crime versus black men on white women crime? Okay? If you want to examine this honestly, let's take a look at all directions. White men on white women, black men on white women, black men on black women, and white men on black women. And then we can take from that what we need to. I'm here to seek the truth. Okay? I am not here to get a gotcha. I am not here to say that you're wrong. You're probably right on a lot of these statistics. But let's analyze them and derive the correct conclusion, which is not, and I'm sure that Andrew would agree with this, hopefully, that black men are simply naturally more inclined, genetically or otherwise, to commit acts of sexual violence. Hopefully he'd agree with that, you know? But like what he and his ilk like doing is like leading you toward this conclusion without actually saying it. Well, I'm not saying that like black men are like more likely to commit sexual violence just because of their genetics, but like, but if you look at the statistics, like they do, and it's like, okay, but you are saying that. Otherwise, what you're saying is that then there are circumstances that lead them to do that, right? That lead to these statistics that are beyond just inherently black people being worse than white people. Like on a level playing field, he would probably agree in a vacuum. A black man and a white man who were raised in exactly the same circumstances are equally as likely to commit a sex crime. Hopefully.
Outrage when a member of the out group assaults a member of the in group
That's true.
versus when a member of the in group assaults a fellow member of the in group.
The out group.
Right. Like I think that people in general are going to be far more upset about a black man essaying a white woman than they would be about a black man essaying a black woman.
Okay.
Right?
Let's just grant
again,
it, sure.
If we're looking at convictions, there's also a history of false accusations, against black men by white women. That is a fact. That has happened. So I would also consider that as well.
Yeah, I mean, throughout the entire historic standard, sure.
At this point, I would just say, Andrew, what's your point? What do we derive from this? Ethnostates? Do you want ethnostates? Because like what Andrew and people like him like to do is like lay out these facts, like I just said, right? And then let you come to your own conclusion. I don't want ethnostates. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Like, I guarantee you he would like curl away from any accusation that he wants an ethnostate or wants some kind of natural division between like white and black people.
But like just the last 10 years,
Or like
no, there's not much of that.
division.
All right.
Not much in the way of false accusations going on there. Things like DNA, we have DNA testing. That's the big one, the DNA.
But a lot of rape.
He really should learn to speak more from the chest. When I learned to do that, I feel like my quality jumped sky high. He like speaks up here, and he's very white DNA versus black DNA. It's like, dog, speak from your chest, okay? You have all this space down here, and you're wasting it.
Kits don't happen. A lot of cases don't have rape kits involved.
So don't trust women, or should we believe all women?
Gotcha.
I think that-
Mic drop. Pew, 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 pew. Mic drop. Boom. Boom, baby. He wins. That's how that works.
Can believe victims, but I think that you can also account for, like a pattern of racism.
So don't believe
in the justice system.
So don't believe.
I'm sorry. I know that Steel Lungs linked this saying that like he got owned. I don't think so. I think that he is optically winning this.
Believe all women?
That's not what I'm saying.
Well, I don't understand.
I think that you should.
Should
trust
I believe
victims.
all women or not?
I don't think that she's picking up on his dishonesty. Either she's not picking up on it or she's not addressing it. You know what I mean? Like, this is a dishonest tactic that he's currently using. When we say believe all women, what we mean is not, oh, well, she said that he's guilty, so we should incarcerate him. Just on that. Like, that's enough evidence. Like, that's not what people mean. What they mean is to take the accusation seriously and investigate it. Okay? If a woman accuses a man of a sex crime, that's worth investigating every time. Every time. Every time. That is worth investigating. So investigate it. Does she not like the guy? Does she just want to get one over on him and take all his money and in full custody of the children? And that's why she's accusing him? It's very possible. It's very possible. The point is you need to investigate it.
Not.
You know what? I'm going to be real with you here. No.
Yeah, no.
I think that you should actively, when someone
Right.
makes accusations.
Yeah.
See, and now he gets to take the W because she said, no, you shouldn't believe all women.
You should be careful, but you should also investigate because I have
Yes,
seen
thank
false
you. Got
accusations fly.
Yeah.
I don't mean that you should be like, you dumb B word, you deserved it, you nasty, but you should wait until you have
She's trying
more
so hard.
confirmation.
Okay.
I did find it.
She's trying really hard, but unfortunately, like her body language, like I don't think that she's prepared for this. We haven't gotten to the part. Oh, okay.
Finally, I apologize for the delay. I think Google might have been suppressing it. I had to go to X to find the actual infographic.
I'll
Pull
give
it
it
up,
a
please. All right. So Mary, you're gonna have to make us smaller. Okay. So make us right
True,
small.
Chavo.
And then hide right this one. Okay. Interracial violent incidents per capita of offending race. And this is from a Bureau of Justice Statistics National Crime Victimization Survey from 2018. So white on black there, 30, Hispanic on black 76. Well, I'll just do, okay, so white on black 30, black on white 1,000.
Okay, incidents per 100K of offender population. So this is taking into account, so this isn't just raw numbers, this is per capita. Race of offender. Okay, so yeah, white people, so black on white is higher. Hispanic on white is the second highest. Black on Hispanics the third highest. White on Hispanics the fourth. Hispanic on black is in fifth. White on black is in sixth.
288 versus 30 for white on black.
Well, gee, Chuck, it seems like, based on what you just said earlier, if I could demonstrate this to you, you said that you would advise your little sister to cross the street. Do you hold to that?
By the way, this is incidents per 100,000
So he just said it. He said that inherently we should just not trust black people.
offender population.
Do you hold to it, Chuck? Do you hold to it? Are you going to advise your sister to cross the street now?
Nah, because I
he's
think it's
so
white
smug.
boys that are getting beat up.
He's so smug.
Can you pull up the interracial essay statistics, please?
Sure.
Another thing that he's very good at, he knows his stuff. He knows his statistics very well. White supremacists will always try to get you with the statistics.
Well, again, we'd
Give me a
have
moment to find it.
It's just going to get worse as we go here, Charlie.
All right, well,
I'm
what
telling you,
saying is
it's
that
just going to
half
get
the
worse.
population is male, half the population is female.
Again, my question would be, what ought we do about this, Andrew? What's your solution? Ethnostates? I think that's a stupid solution.
The encounters between, and then 13.3% of the population is black.
Yeah, and even less of that is male. It's only about 6% that's male.
Yeah. And so, but again, the justice system.
Remember that word we were looking for, per capita.
Yeah. The justice system also
She's
does
so
punish
nervous.
black people more. Black people are convicted more for the same crimes than white people.
Did it ever occur to you it's because they commit more crimes?
Well, if you look at comparisons to actual crimes committed versus conviction rates, it's committed.
What I would do also at this point is I would say, okay, let's look at violent crime rates when we consider economic factors. Because there is no greater predictor of violent crime than being in an economically poor circumstance. Okay? Because that would imply that what happens is you're in a poor economic circumstance, you can't pay for mental health care, your mental health gets worse as a result of being poor, and the poorer you get, the worse your mental health gets, and the worse your mental health gets, the poorer you get because you can't work because your mental health sucks, right? And you can't get jobs, so you go homeless. And so the homeless population in the black community and the economic situation in the black community and the healthcare situation in the black community, all these things and more are just worse for them. And so, of course, they're churning out violent criminals, okay? Because it's economically tied, not racially. It's only racially tied because, for some reason, I can't imagine why, black people have it way worse than white people, economically speaking.
in crimes at about the same rate, but black people are more likely to be sentenced.
Because they're on their third time doing a crime.
I think
that's why.
she's
and that's
just
never
not
adjusted
on the
for
right
in
track.
the data.
Do you have proof?
Yes,
for
we
that?
can pull it up. Yeah,
All
name
right.
whatever study.
Maybe I should just reach out directly to the Whatever podcast and see if they'll have me on. What do you guys think? Whatever podcast. If you're watching this, hit me up.
Do you want right now? And I'll pull up the methodology, and I can guarantee you that if we look on the offenses by offense list, is it, oh, this white dude, he went in and he stole a car, and he got 1 year, okay? And this black guy got 10 years. That's not fair. And you know what's often left out? That's his 15th crime, and that's why he got the higher sentence. That's what I've noticed when I look at that data.
Okay, but what causes a black man to steal cars 15 times as opposed to a white man who does it once? Are they just inherently worse when it comes to that, Andrew? I don't think even you would admit that. He would say the culture. Oh, it's the culture. Okay, culture is started by individuals. So what you're arguing is that individuals came together and decided that a culture of stealing cars is good, and they should spread that culture, right? So at the end of the day, yes, you are arguing that black people are simply more likely to want to steal cars because they started that culture. Unless you want to argue that culture that they have of stealing cars and stealing cars being a good thing to do and a fine thing to do, if we're ceding that point, that culture came about as a result of external circumstances, such as being economically in the shitter. If you're economically in the shitter, maybe stealing a car doesn't sound so bad. Maybe the potential consequences for stealing a car don't matter as much to you because you need a car to get to work, right? In order to survive in the current economy. And if you can't afford one, maybe stealing one doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah. But the thing, I'm willing to look at whatever data you got. I'm happy to parse it out.
Well, I didn't prepare for this.
I know, I
Steelers,
understand.
how much
I
longer?
did not prepare. I prepared for debate on feminism.
That is, but this is part of that debate because it's showing a worldview inconsistency that you have, which is that men are mean, bad, evil patriarchy. You would advise your sister to cross the street, right, in order to avoid them.
Men are evil, mean, bad.
Okay, you're right. That was a straw man, so let me be more charitable.
Okay.
You would tell
See, he knows exactly what he's doing.
your sister to cross the
very
street
good at this.
when it came to a group of rowdy young men, right? And you say that you would advise her to do that even if she personally didn't have it.
One thing I'll give Andrew kudos for, when he makes mistakes like that, little missteps, he backs off. Okay? And that comes off as very honest. He's good at this game.
Any bad experiences with rowdy young men, just based on experiences you've had and data and various things you've observed.
I'm starting to think I got the wrong timestamp. That's okay. If you find the correct timestamp, let me know. I think that what I've seen so far, Andrew actually kind of blew her out of the water. I don't think that he's right. I think that if I were in that circumstance, I would have the correct things to say and the questions to ask in order to challenge him better on this. But I do think that his demeanor, his verbiage, his willingness to back off of certain points, all of that was much better than what Charlie provided. And also, like, Charlie's body language was very, like, nervous. She was kind of sitting there twiddling her fingers. And I know that sounds like a little thing, but people pick up on that. Like, I can tell that Charlie is being made very nervous here. So I'm not trying to come down on her. I just think I have some constructive critiques of the way that she handled this. That's all. Hi, thanks so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you all know that I love and appreciate everybody in my community, whether you can support me financially or just by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. It helps way more than you know. That being said, I do want to give a very special thanks to my Tier 4 subs, which would be Space Timid and Hot Take Andy. And thanks so much to my monetary subscribers from any of the tiered subs or anybody who gives me money in any form, including going to my Patreon shop, donating money to me directly. It all helps way more than you know. If you do decide to help me financially, you can get some really cool perks like early access to content, exclusive access to censored videos, also some really cool badges next to your name. Even if you can't afford a monetary subscription, just watching, sharing, and commenting on my content helps way more than you know. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.